Hey everybody, Z Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at a trick-taking card game with a couple of twists. This is Twin Palms. Twin Palms here is like very many other trick-taking card games. You are dealt a hand of cards. You are going to predict how many of those tricks you think you will take. And then you will play cards and see how well you did, get paid in victory points, in this case sand dollars, very nice sand dollars, and try to have the most points after a determined number of rounds. Couple of twists though, with the big one being every time you play, you are actually playing a pair of cards, twin cards, and those two cards combined denote a ranking in the different power levels available in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that means and how that works. The game is a very straightforward card game, and then I'm going to see you back up here after the overview for some final thoughts. To play the game, the first thing you'll need to decide, besides how many players you're playing with, and here we'll be taking a look at a game with 3 players, by the way, is which level of difficulty or involvement you'd like to play with. We've got easy mode over here, very, very simple, which uses a single suit of cards. We've got normal mode with 2 suits, advanced, which has all 3 suits and various amounts of rankings there, and then extreme mode that really gets granular with the different rankings of tricks that you'll be playing in the game, all right? So we're going to go ahead and go with extreme mode. Just be aware you can simplify this all the way down to a really basic way to play. And then there's more of these so different players can have them, okay? So we're going to go ahead and remove all of these from here. I also want you to see the 2 colors of player cards that could be in play and we will not be using. So we're going to set these aside as well. So the central deck of cards here is going to have cards in 3 different colors. You are going to have the palms, the highest ranked of all of them, followed by the dolphins here in pink, followed by these sunglasses, which are the lowest ranked cards in the game. And the breakdown for the extreme here tells us what beats what in this game. We'll come back to this in just one little second. I'm going to go ahead and put that down here for a moment. Let me explain the way the game flows. So we're going to be playing a various number of hands based on the number of players, so 6 in this case, in which the players are going to be dealt some cards that will predict how many tricks they think they'll take. We'll play cards out, and then based on how you did with that prediction, you'll make some sand dollars, some victory points. So we're going to have our start player be this player right here. Everybody begins with 2 of these sand dollars already. And then we are going to go through the first hand, and I'll show you how that works. So we shuffle up the cards, and everybody gets 10 of these. There we go. And now each player is going to look at their hand of cards, and they are going to decide what their bid is going to be. So this player will take a look at their hand of cards here. They will try to see what patterns they think they'll make, and they will make a bid. So your bid cards go from a bid of 0 to a bid of 5. There are only going to be, even though we have 10 cards in hand, 5 tricks in each hand. And the reason for that is because every time we play 2 cards together. There's also these betting cards, which the rulebook says are optional. You can, in fact, never play with these if you don't want to, but I'll go ahead and explain them in just a little bit. So let's say I think I'll be taking, of the 5, 2 tricks. In that case, I will put this card face down in front of me. Once everyone's done that, we will all reveal them. If I get that exactly right, meaning at the end of the hand I've taken 2 tricks, I'm going to get 5 sand dollars. Otherwise, if I miss it, no matter by how much, instead I'm going to get 1 sand dollar per trick I took. So if I mess up and I take 3, I might as well keep taking them because they'll be worth something, all right? And this is true for all of them, except the values will be different, as you can see. And then a bid of 0, meaning you're not planning on taking any, and you're going to, in fact, avoid taking them. If you're exactly right, you get 5. But if you're wrong, you'd get nothing. Otherwise, this is too good of a bid. I get 1 per trick anyway, and hey, maybe I won't take any, and I'll get a nice payout. So this is the only one that's slightly different. The betting card here is simply used to put more money on the line that you've already got. If you use this one, you are saying you're not betting any sand dollars, that you'll achieve your exact bid. If you bet the max, you are saying that you are betting sand dollars equal to the current round. That's the max. So if we're in the 4th round right here, you're betting 4 of your own sand dollars that you're going to get your bid exactly on. And if you do, you'll make that much back. So say I bid 4, I would take those 4 back and another 4. If I'm wrong, I lose those 4. And then the half is simply half of the round that we're on, rounded down. So again, if I do that, say, during the 4th round, I'm betting 2 that I'm going to be exactly right. So that's what those are, and everybody has the same set in their color, okay? So let's talk about the actual meat of the game, the trick-taking itself. On your turn, I'll go ahead and bring this back in, by the way. On your turn, the start player will start here, and they're going to play 2 of these cards. So let's say that they play these 2 cards. And then this player will play. And this player is going to play these 2 cards. Like so. And then lastly, this player with these cards will play. And they are going to play, what are they going to play? They're going to play these 2 cards here. They'll play those 2 out. So the very first thing you want to do when trying to figure out who won the trick is ask yourself, are there any pairs? That's the very first question you need to ask yourself. And if there are any pairs, anything that isn't a pair, you know cannot win. Because all the pairs will literally beat everything that isn't paired. This cannot possibly win. We know that already. We can discard that for now. And then we will compare those pairs. Anything that is a suited pair, meaning the same suit for the 2 cards, will beat one that is not suited. So we already know that this is going to win. Okay? But if this was a suited pair, and this, instead of being a 7 dolphin, was a 7 palm, meaning 2 of that card there, then we know that the palms are stronger than the dolphins stronger than the sunglasses, and therefore 2 of this card here would win it. But as it is right now, this player is going to be the winner. They are going to take the stack of cards, including these I set aside, and they'll put those somewhere to mark that they've taken a trick. And then they will lead a new pair of cards. Perhaps they'll take a look here, and they will play these 2 ones, like so. I will show you here that there are some wilds in each suit, which can be any number you want them to, but they are suited. So that maybe they'll play that one. Perhaps this player here will play these 2, pretty strong. And then this player over here, having not much of anything, will throw away a couple of cards. They're planning to maybe group up these 2 8s. The sunglasses are the weakest thing, so maybe they'll throw away this 1 and this 3, which are still suited but not a pair, perhaps making these 2 a pair eventually. But this will all change in your hand, you see. As you win and lose tricks, you can possibly be planning on playing these 2 together, but perhaps that's too strong at this point, and you want to drop down, so maybe you'll break up that pair and throw something like this into play. Very weak. No pair, mixed colors of the pink and the yellow, right? The dolphin and the sunglasses, one of the weakest cards combinations there are. So it depends if you want to win or not win at any given moment. So if that's the play there, then we check pairs. Yes, there are pairs. Suited pairs. Yes, this one's a suited pair. This player wins. And again, you only need to go more granular if those things are still then butting up against each other, right? If there would be suited pairs that are then need to be broken down by the actual suit at that point. So this player wins, and so on. We keep going until everybody has played every card. We check who got their bid right. If they make any money from that, we'll check the bets. And then once that's done, we will move on to the second round. We will shuffle up all the cards. We will deal 10 again, and everyone goes through another bidding and betting phase. and we play until we've reached the correct space on this track. At that point, at the end of that round, we see who's got the most sand dollars, and that player is going to be the winner of the game. All right, so that is Twin Palms. Let's go ahead and talk about this. We're going to start with the theme and the setting, which I think is lovely. It is vibrant. It is very welcoming, warm, soothing in a way. I really like the setting here. And coupled with that, of course, comes the aesthetics. The artwork is lovely, lush. Everything feels quality in this one, and I really appreciate that. A lot of, to the very few components that are here, a lot of care and love went into those. Graphic design is clean. Everything's well laid out. This looks both welcoming and classic and very modern in its design. So I really enjoy that. Next up, we take a look at the replay value. This is a fun kind of routine game. And by that, I mean this is the kind of game, this is true for many trick-taking games, but I think this one especially manages to do it, which feels like you could build a routine with that, say a family tradition with that. On Saturday mornings, we wake up and we go downstairs by the big glass window and we have some coffee and play Twin Palms. It has that feeling. It has that certain quality to it. So is this something you're going to be playing a lot of? Is it replayable in the traditional variability sense? Not quite, I think. I think the game is largely going to play the same way. But I think it is so welcoming and straightforward that you could build some routine around it and enjoy that in and of itself, which the game facilitates. So, yeah, I enjoy that. The game arc, well, it's pretty good. I think the optional, and I will say optional, betting rules do render some of the earlier rounds a little moot. Not fully moot. I don't think it's as big a deal as that, but they do make some of the earlier rounds in the game weaker. The flip side of that is you are sort of warming up as you are playing. You know, if you haven't played in a while or you haven't played at all, you should probably just not use the bet cards if you haven't played at all. But if you haven't played in a while, the bet cards and being able to predict the strength of your hand, it takes a little warming up to. You know, you want to see a couple of hands before you are there. And I think then the bet cards do a good job of, if you whiff on that, say in round 1 or round 2, you are not penalized by as much as if you do it on round 5 and you went max on that. You know, it gives you a few rounds to warm up to how to read your hand, to get into the groove of the game, and then you can make those big plays. Still, if everyone is very familiar with the game, then betting on the first and second round seems a little less important and ultimately doesn't translate to as many victory points. Ease of play. The game takes a little getting used to. The ideas here are straightforward and very clever, and I do like the different ways you can play. But it does take a while to sort of internalize the rankings. I think following that suggested script of first check for pairs. Anything that isn't a pair, eliminate. Then check suited pairs. Anything that isn't, eliminate. Then rank those things. Of course, if some of those aren't available on the table, then you need to go to the bottom part of that no pairing and go from there. And there it might get a little sort of like, wait, I played one palm, you have a palm, but my second card is sunglasses, your second card is the dolphin, that's you, right? The numbers won't matter, right? That, it takes a little getting used to that idea. But again, I think you internalize that, and then you can, once you've got it, chat and enjoy your company and just play some cards. And then lastly, tactics, luck, strategy. I really like the idea that the cards can be combined in many different ways to change their power level. And it's funny because you can change the power level of the cards down dramatically. You can make almost any hand, not quite any hand, but a lot of hands, you can combine them into pairs that are terrible. You can try to lose a lot. And so the way to destroy, for lack of a better term, your hand is available. There's a lot of sort of space to the bottom, but the space to the top maxes out based on the cards you've got. If you didn't get a lot of palms, you just do not have a very strong hand. And you can even make that hand weaker, right, based on the combinations you create. So I really like that flexibility that you can creep up in power or creep down in power throughout the 5 tricks based on what's going on. It's you already make your bet, now you have to just try to come under everybody else, make really bad pairings. I think that's clever, and I think it works pretty well, especially, again, if everybody has sort of internalized that hierarchy and you know how to use those cards to your advantage. So there you go. That is Twin Palms, the card game. I like this one. I think this is a lovely design. Very welcoming, very straightforward in a way, and it's just one that like I said, I can definitely see folks enjoying this one, keeping this as one of their go-to games with the family. Oh, we keep this one at Grandma's house, and when we go over on the weekends, this is the one that comes out and we all play it, and I think that's lovely. So this is going to get a 7 out of 10 from me. That is a seal of approval. It's not revolutionary, and it is competing in a very crowded space. There are a lot of trick-taking games. But if you're looking for one where the theme is probably going to be something distinct, and where the combinations of cards is going to lead to some interesting ideas, then I think this is one you want to check out. That is Twin Palms, everybody. 7 out of 10, like I said. My name is Z Garcia. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to see you on the next one.